Hello, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add the arrows and the text for a graph. Sometimes you want to add an arrow for a graph to highlight a value or for a date, for example, in this case. So how we can do that? In this video, I will show you a very simple way to do that. First of all, we go into load the data. We can see the data now. This data is a weather data, and the data contains three variables. The first variable is date, and the second one is the mean temperature, and the third one is the maximum temperature. Because we have the date data, so we need to convert the date into the date data. We use the code s.date, and we use the format day, month, and year. I run this code. Now we can check the data again. As you can see now, the data have 311 observations and 3 variables. The first variable is date, and the other variables are numeric data. Now we go into plot the line graph that have the arrow. We need to use the package ggplot2, so you run the code to load the package. And then we use the code ggplot. We use the data df we have defined above. This is the name of the data we defined above. We use the code AES and x-axis is date. We use the code 𝐿_line to plot the line graph for the mean temperature. We use the y is the mean temperature, and we use the code color to set the legend for mean temperature. We select the size equal 1 to set the thickness for the lines. Similarly, we also use the code 𝐿_line to plot the maximum temperature line. And y-axis here, we use the max temperature. We use labs to name for the title, but in this case, we don't want to name the title for the graph. We label the x-axis is date, the y-axis is temperature. For the value in the x-axis, we want to have the months, so we use the code scale_date, and we use date break, and we use 1 month. We use a date underscore label to set the month. %b, that means for the month, with only 3 letters. Theme underscore background, that means we set the black and white background for the graph. And this code, we want to set the legend on the top. For this course, we want to set the font size for the axis title, for the axis text, and for the legend text. We don't want to show the legend title, so we set it element blank. Now we're going to add the arrows for the graph. We want to set the first arrow on 15 May 2017, and we use the code annotate. And then we use segment. Segment means we want to set for the segment of this or a segment of a line. To do that, we need to have the x begin, x end, y begin, and y end. For the x begin, we set at the date 15 May 2017, and x end, we also set the same date because we want to have the vertical line. But for the y-axis, we want to set for the value at the x-axis at the date of 15 May 2017, and we want to have the arrow above the red line. That means above the maximal temperature line. So we need to add some value here. We add 10 for the y begin. But for the y end, we just add only 5 to make sure we have a segment of line here. After that, we will add an arrow. That means we want to add this arrow. We use the code arrow, and the length is unit 0.2. The color we use is black. After we have the arrow, we will add the text about the arrow. To add the text about the arrow, we also use the code annotate, and we need to set the text here, and we also need x and y. X is the same date as we use for the arrow. For y, we want to set a bit higher than the y begin for the arrow. So we plus 12 here. And then we use label to type the text. we type it TOS1 and showing. We use the code slash and n to separate two rows. We select the color is green 4, the angle 0, and the line height is 0.9. If we want to have the larger space, you can increase the line height. Similarly, you can easily add arrow and text on 14 July 2017. We use similar code. We only change the date. In this case, we use the date 14 July 2017. So now we can run the code and we have this graph. Before we run the code, I want to delete this graph. We run the code and we have the graph. If you want to export this graph, you can use the code ggshave. You name for the graph and you can use scale with 1 and you can set the width and the height of the graph. The unit is centimeter, and you also can set the resolution for the graph. You can add a path to the folder where you want to export the graph to. If you want to practice, you can download the code and the data from the link in the description. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.